There, you ready to go milk the goats? Hey, Katie girl. Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to Roots Refuge. I got a new green stalk. It's been sitting on the front porch for the last couple of days because it got cold again. And I haven't set it up, but I'll show that to you in a little bit. I can't get distracted right now. I gotta go milk my goats. Oh man, it froze last night. And I think we protected everything. The forecast this morning said it had gotten down to like right at freezing, 32, 0 Celsius. But I got in my car this morning and here it was a little bit colder than that. You know, my property sits here kind of in like a bowl with our pond being sort of the low point of the surrounding areas. And cold air pools in low places. So if you have like low-lying areas on your property, it's going to be cooler there. Well, my whole property is a low-lying area compared to the surrounding land. I think everything is okay. I think it was mild enough that I was really worried all the oak trees have already bloomed. Good morning. I'm like 30 minutes later than usual getting out here. Oh, I'm so sorry. Good morning. Good morning. So I started this challenge. So a group of people that I know are doing this challenge of like reading the Bible in 90 days. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that with it. And guys, I just can't. Like, I cannot get through I cannot get through the Bible fast. Like, I just can't do it. I started 3 days ago and I'm on Genesis chapter 3. And I've already written all these notes and all these ideas. That's why I'm late this morning, because I sat down to do like my morning quiet time. Got really sucked in. I think I wrote like 6 pages of notes down and ideas, and I'm like flipping back and forth. I'm all over the place. I've got like multiple permaculture books out, and I'm like writing all this stuff down. I was like, I am never gonna get through this in 90 days. There's just no way. I mean, I could probably get through some books that fast just because I don't know what the heck is going on. Like, some of them I'm just like, yeah, this isn't sparking anything at all. But especially when we're talking about the land and gardens and stuff like that, just fires off all kinds of ideas. How's the irony of that I was so sucked into reading about stewardship that I failed to milk my goats till 30 minutes late. Sorry, goats. Oh my goodness, poor goats. Poor goats. Does anybody even care for you? Huh? They said no, no one does. You will never be able to complain that your goats didn't tell you what they wanted. They're so vocal. In all seriousness, my goal in any sort of dairy animal is to milk within the same hour window, 12 hours apart. So I come out and milk at some point during the 8 to 9 hour. It's 9:15 right now. So I'm really not that late. And sometimes that's actually necessary. Like, we're at a baseball game and I'm like rushing to get home as soon as possible. If it's just a little bit outside of that window, it's fine, but they are going to be really vocal about it. Now, I would never want to go more than just a little bit outside of that window. I mean, if there was a case of like a genuine emergency and you had to milk a little bit later, I mean, like, that has happened. I don't know, it's happened a couple of times in our experience of keeping animals, but you really want to avoid that because regular milking eliminates the risk of infection. And as a mom that nursed 5 babies, it seems like a really cruel thing to do, to make a mama wait to get her udder emptied. All right, here you go. Virgie, you're such a good girl. You know you're first, don't you? Almost done. Come on. Right here. Right here. Hey, whip.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
What did you do with the sledgehammer?
What did I do with the sledgehammer?
Oh, it's right there.
It's like I have had.
I knew you had it.
Yeah, he's had wind. Come on, Winnie. Come on. We so have our milking system down. It takes me a little bit longer when I have the camera out here. Obviously I'm moving it around, but I've got it down to about, I think, right at 20 minutes to be able to come out and milk all 3 goats. Like if I just can come out and get started and I'm not trying to do something else. Now, lately, Ben, my little baby angel, who spent most of his early years helping me with goats. I got my first goats when Ben was 8 weeks old, so he literally just like grew up with goats. It was just such a fundamental part of their early years. Anyway, he's been very committed to coming out and doing the evening milkings with me, and obviously that's making it take a lot longer, which is fine. And last night he said, "Mom, do you think that this is a job that I could just like take over and do myself?" And I told him, I was like, well, one day I think that would be very nice, and the fact that you can do it by yourself will be a great blessing to me. However, I really like milking with you because I like spending the time with you, and I like spending the time with the goats. And his little smile he just lit up, and he's like, "I like milking with you too, Mom." And he milked one of the goats entirely by himself last night. Now, for Winnie, she's such a high producer that she eats fast too. So it's like a lot of milk plus she gets through her feed fast. So he milked her until she was almost done with her feed. And of course, if she runs out of feed, she may get a little steppy and knock the milk over. So I came in at the end of that one and helped him finish it off. But I've been really proud of him. It's also just really sweet to get to share something like that with your kid. You know, it's crazy. I remember early on in gardening and homesteading, of course, our children were really young. And you just have no clue when your kids are just small how fast it's going to go by. Everybody tells you, but you can't grasp it. Hey girl, you're out. Come on. Come on. You're not missing out on anything. Let's go back in. Now, though, that the boy that made me a mother is graduating high school, and I think we figured out he's got like 6 weeks of school left. I've spent this entire school year thinking, like, why didn't anybody tell me? Like, why did no one tell me how fast this goes by? And then I realized, oh, they all did. Absolutely everyone told me that. But I just couldn't wrap my head around it. So, my advice to any mamas and papas that have little ones that want to slow your chores down because they just want to do it with you and spend time with you, let them. Or pesky dogs, right, Bear? We put the heaters on in the greenhouse last night because it was going to be freezing. And I looked this morning at the little reading of the thermostat, and it looks like it stayed nice and warm in here all night. I may need to come turn the fans on now, though, that the sun is up, even though it's still chilly. Of course, most of the stuff growing out here is frost hardy, but I was a little nervous because I have a bunch of little things popping up, but everything looks unfazed, so maybe it didn't actually get cold enough here to have done any damage anyway. Excuse me, sir. Thank you. Oh yeah, it is warm in here. So the 10-day forecast doesn't have any more freezes in it, which brings us almost up to our estimated last frost date. I'm still gonna probably stay a little conservative on that and just wait until like mid to late April to start moving my started plants out, because the last couple years since we've lived here in this area, there has been a frost in mid to late April, even though our estimated last frost date according to weather records is the first week of April. However, I'll probably go ahead and direct sow seeds outside now. With high hopes and low expectations. I mean, I'll just know, like, okay, if this works, if there's not another frost, then I'll be ahead. But if there is another frost and it comes and kills those things, I'm just gonna hold on to it really loosely. Like, it's taking a risk, it's making a gamble. I wouldn't put any like super rare seeds out or something that I don't have a lot of, but anything that I have excess seeds of, like I've got packages of cucumbers I want to sow, well, I can put 6 seeds out there, and if I lose them, then I can just resow it. So I'm gonna do that, but not today, because this morning it is really chilly outside and I would rather wait for a sunny afternoon, maybe today or tomorrow. I can come out here and get those seeds sown and it be enjoyable rather than miserable. That's funny. I just looked over at this rose bush and I was like, man, is that a new branch just sticking straight up like that? It's an asparagus. It's a volunteer asparagus. That is so funny. They're everywhere. Oh yeah, I was gonna grab that green stalk. I kind of had in my head that I was going to set this up today, but it's too cold. I'm going to work in the kitchen. Today I'm going to start bone broth, make some jelly, make some bread, and some school lunch snacks. And essentially, I had my regular appointment for today. I had to cancel. So I'm spread fairly thin in my life. Like, it's a balancing act. I have to make conscious choices of what I do. So though I have appointments that are appointments I appreciate, I'm glad to have meetings, all that stuff. When something gets canceled and I have like an open day that I thought was going to be busy with other things, and I get to do just whatever, it makes me so happy. It makes me feel a little time rich, when a lot of my life I feel very time poor. All right, so this is the new green stalk design. These are on sale right now. And I know you can stack my coupon code Roots10. I'll put a link down below. But it's a new basket weave. Look at this. So it's kind of baskety looking. And this is a new color called Maple. And I really like it. I thought it was super cute. I got the 5-tier original. I'm gonna do my dwarf tomatoes in this because I have 2 others out in the pavilion that are matching. And last year, I had done some things with them. I'm actually moving them over back by the greenhouse. I'm just gonna put ornamental stuff in them so it'd be really pretty. And since they're matching, I'm putting them in front of the greenhouse. And then I just got this one to put by the pavilion to do my micro dwarf tomatoes in. I'm going to plant the whole green stalk with micro dwarf tomatoes. Spinner. I'm making this so much harder than it needs to be. Alright, here's the thing. Isn't that cute? I thought it was cute. Because we're building our house, I'm not doing a lot of like new garden stuff this year. We're gonna do some infrastructure, I think, some fences and arbors that we're building. And then we're finishing up a couple of things, like I think we're gonna put the roof on the pavilion. And so we have like a few projects that we're kind of really just finishing that had been previously started. But I'm not doing a ton of new infrastructure or things. And that's interesting because we've been in this transition for like 3 years where every year we're like building more phases. And we are doing that this year, is building a house. Previously it's been phases of the farm and garden. And the fact that that's to the point that it is why we can focus on the house. Anyway, I'm gonna get to it in my kitchen and have a productive and previously busy but now time rich day. Thank you guys for hanging out with me this morning. I bless you. Until next time.